Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Ultimate Nightmares run, where we take the characters that are hardest to beat on the new Nightmare mode, as chosen by you, and try to win with them. Today we're playing the Baby, which not only have I had a few people suggesting that this is a character they've been really struggling with, I've also seen on the Discord and the Reddit that this is one that a lot of people have been having a lot of trouble with, but I think we can get there. For the Baby, we're going to be using Stick as our weapon. Of course, this character gets a bunch of weapons, and so the weapon that gets more value for having more copies of it is exactly the one that we're looking for. Also, the primitive weapon tag will offset the fact that this character has poor defenses, and so it's the natural pick for this character, by far the strongest weapon if you're struggling to get a win with the Baby. I picked a random map, and it looks like we have the Abyss. Just, obviously, we can see that from having gotten into the game. I'm not gonna quite hit... Oh, no, I did hit level 1 here, so that's great. Because we got a tree, so we got a little bit of extra experience. You don't always hit level 1 on the first wave as the Baby, but this is gonna make it a lot easier because we will hopefully be able to find another stick, and then that'll help level up my weapon significantly. We're going to roll here, and we'll buy a stick. I'm just going to buy this tree. On the Baby, you obviously cannot buy that many weapons in the first couple waves, and so it's okay to buy good economy items when you see them. The fact that you have cheaper item prices is really important to winning with this character, and you need to make use of that while items are at their cheapest. So, unlike most characters, which only buy weapons in the first couple shops, the Baby will also buy items. Butterfly I'm going to leave in the pool, but I'm not going to buy or lock it. I'll ban Book and Mutation here. Also, I don't know if it's coming through on the microphone, but my neighbor's dog is barking, so hopefully that's not too loud. I could roll here looking for another stick before buying the Scar. Obviously, we're going to buy Scar. This character, the main challenge is you need to get enough XP gain to get enough weapon slots quickly enough that you can actually have an advantage here. I think I will just buy the Scar here, and I'll leave Hedgehog in the pool, and then I'm going to lock this second Scar. Corrupted Shard, I think I will leave in the pool. I'm not decided on whether I want to go for Curse or not this run, but the main goal is to lock another stick, so as soon as another weapon slot opens up, we can buy it. Now, because I hit level 1 in my first wave, we're not going to hit level 2 this wave, most likely. The math might change because I found a Scar, but most of the time when you're playing the Baby and you hit level 1 in the first wave, you don't hit level 2. So I didn't need to roll for that many weapons because we are just going to be upgrading. It looks like thanks to having a Scar, we are going to hit level 2 though, so we'll be able to upgrade and buy another stick, hopefully. Landmines, I don't care about at all. I'm just going to ban it here for 4 materials. And we'll take our weapon slot, of course. And then we'll buy the stick. And I'm going to buy another Scar. We'll ban a Toxic Sludge and reroll. Okay, another Scar. Baby is more likely to find XP gain items. But this is definitely on the lucky side, finding several XP gain items right away. But this is why we're rolling for items, of course, and banning level 1 items to be able to find this item more easily. That said, I could buy it here, but you really need to find more weapons on the Baby. You need to have a weapon, just like the Arms Dealer, which we played recently. You want to have a weapon locked every wave as soon as you're able to buy it. So here, I'm going to buy the stick, and then I'm going to roll, hoping to lock another stick so that we can go up to 4 immediately. One nice thing about, of course, using a melee weapon like Stick is that on the Abyss, we don't trigger the ranged weapon penalties here. Now, this is going to be a tough wave because we only have 3 weapons and no healing yet. And so most characters would have, 5 or 6 weapons by this point. Taking 2 hits there was bad. I was trying to get the tree, and I did get it and get the consumable, which is why I didn't die there. Actually, I guess we would have gone to 1 HP, even without the consumable healing. I will take a Ratzilla. It's not incredible for this character, but for only 8 materials, I think it will work out okay. And then we'll buy another stick, going up to 4. I'll buy these 2 things. I left Butterfly in the pool earlier, but now I'm just going to ban it for a free reroll. It's not a not an item that we're, massively enthusiastic about finding. We'll pick up another tree, ban a small fish, and then roll again, and then lock a tree, and then I'm going to re-roll here, and I'm still looking to lock more sticks. Peaceful Bee, I think, is worth locking. I'm going to save my last ban for a free re-roll, and I'll roll again, and we'll lock another XP gain item. Now, unfortunately, I didn't find another stick, and that is a severe problem when you're playing this character, because you, again, need to fill every weapon slot as soon as it's possible. Otherwise, you're just playing a character with massive penalties because you don't get any stats from leveling up. I think, given the way the run is going, I'm taking a lot of hits here. I'm going to avoid getting Curse early on. I also don't think I'm going to have the damage to kill that Loot Alien, so I should have gone for those 2 trees earlier. I was hesitating between going for the Loot Alien and the trees. I just needed to make a decision faster. Alright, this is great. We did find a level 2 stick, and then we can buy all of these items and reroll. I can buy another stick here, and then I'm just going to reroll again, and we'll lock another stick, and we'll lock Cute Monkey as well. Very important healing item. One of the best healing items for a melee character like this, and one that you should always keep an eye out for. It's more healing than basically any other level 1 healing item for the equivalent cost. And yeah, I think I will continue to avoid getting Curse for now. Our defensive stats are going to be really low for a really long time because we're playing the baby, so it's very hard to get extra armor. I did hit that Curse Alien a bunch, though, and now the rat's after it, so we might end up getting a point or 2 of Curse this level, but because this is a healer level, the rat may not be able to actually kill it. We'll check when our stat screen comes up. Okay, sure, I'll take another rat here. We'll buy 2 more weapon slots, and then we'll buy a stick, Cute Monkey, and we'll buy the Scar, ban the Snake, and reroll, buy another stick. And I'm still just buying stick over buying even fertilizer here. Obviously, fertilizer is a great item that we're going to buy, but stick gives +4 damage to all of my other sticks, or even more for the higher leveled ones. So every stick we buy is a massive boost to our damage output. Because we just want to multiply the super high base damage of all of our weapons, attack speed is good, and even for 78 materials and -6 damage, 10% attack speed is pretty important here. And then I'm going to roll a couple times looking for more sticks. Unfortunately, I did miss again, but we should still be okay. At this point, I've now, because we found a lot of early XP gain, and we're able to get a decent set of weapons early, I've now hit the point where our offense is very good. But my defense, because we're playing the baby and don't get stats from level ups, which is where you normally find your defensive stats, is both low and harder to increase. So I need to heavily prioritize rolling for armor, rolling for regeneration, dodge if possible, though it's often difficult to support buying dodge on this character because it's usually the last defensive stat you buy, and when you are forced to be looking for armor and regen so aggressively, you often can't afford to buy dodge as well. But here we can buy all of these items, we can re-roll, and then Candy Bag, this is great because it's just going to give me random defensive stats, and obviously we could die to an elite, but this is a really solid item to pick up. Do I want to level up my stick? I guess I do. I'll go ahead and level this up, and we should still be able to roll into at least 1 more, and in fact, we were able to roll into 2 more. Metal is also the ideal item for us, giving us every single stat that we want. So now at this point, I just need healing, of course, and I need armor, are the stats we need the most. The Candy Bag will give us some defensive stats, because we can use regen, we can use lifesteal, we can use armor, we're okay with dodge. Plenty of ways in which Candy Bag will give us relevant stats. So we're happy to have that, but I'm going to need more defensive stats sooner, because you can see here that when I take a hit, it does do a lot of damage. Although I actually could have gone looking for these trees much earlier and been safer throughout the rest. I probably could have made more money that wave if I'd gone after those trees a little bit more aggressively. I just wasn't paying attention to the fact that there were a bunch of trees on the map. Couple more weapon slots open up, and we fill them immediately, which is exactly what we want. We'll buy a medal, and we'll roll, lock a stick, and I don't need any of these items. Let's go straight to wave 8 here. So we did get 1 armor. Having not gotten an elite on wave 8, that's what I was really worried about from the candy bag, though obviously double elites later on could be challenging as well. But, what I was really worried about was getting an elite right away before we've had time for it to actually give us any defensive stats. And since that didn't happen, we should be in much better shape. Also, I guess it is the point where it's going to be hard to avoid getting Curse, and our damage is now high enough that I'm not worried about picking up Curse at all at this point. So I'm going to start getting it semi-aggressively, at least. The trick with the baby, of course, is that once you have a bunch of sticks online, all of your weapons hit really, really hard. And so you can start being more aggressive later on once you've gotten out of the very difficult early game for this character. I'll take all of these. I definitely can't afford Weird Ghost. You can basically never buy this when you have Candy Bag, because you might roll an elite on any given wave. Wisdom, I don't care about here, but I'll take a black belt, and I will keep leveling my sticks a little bit, and then we'll buy another Scar and lock head injury to offset my % damage loss. Alright, so here we got an elite, and we've obviously only had 2 waves of Candy Bag, but this should be an elite that we're relatively well set up to deal with, because all it is for this elite is a damage race between you and both the elite and all of the other enemies on the field. But because we have enough sticks now, we were able to kill the elite really quickly before I took a bunch of damage from everything else. I'm gonna go kill this Hatcher, because the slashers are a little difficult to deal with on this wave. I also do want to get that Curse Alien kill. I'm gonna get this tree. I would love to get a Loot Worm. Loot Worm would actually be pretty helpful for us here, because running after these trees is actually giving me a lot of trouble. More consumable healing would be a really big deal, as well as luck. I did reduce my luck, but fixing that is very important. Okay, an early potato. This is, again, a really nice item for us with a bunch of defensive stats that are exactly what we're looking for. We're also at 8 dodge already, so if I find a couple more dodge items, it's not a ridiculous option to build dodge at this point. I mean, to pass on metal detector, I think I need to focus on filling out my weapon set and finding more items. And we'll buy a stick. Whetstone, that's great. We have a lot of weapons, so lifesteal, even though this is a relatively slow attacking weapon, we have twice as many as every other character. So we attack as many times, not quite, but functionally you can think of it as we attack as many times with our 12 weapons as a normal character would with 6 weapons and plus 100% attack speed. Alien magic, that's again exactly the type of item we're looking for. We'll keep buying more sticks. We'll buy lemonade. We'll roll again. And I always want to level up my level 1 sticks because they gain a pretty significant upgrade. You gain basically plus 50% damage on them minus the base damage, because the level 1 stick gets 4 damage for every other stick, and then it goes up by 2, so you get 50% more, but then only 33% more going from 2 to 3. But the other option is I could lock this and not level up and just wait until I unlock another weapon slot. I think it's fine to just combine here and keep leveling these sticks, and we'll obviously buy Shady Potion as well. No elite this wave. Also, because I know I'm going to get questions about this, I say you don't attack quite as often as a character with fewer weapons because your weapons won't all be in reach of enemies at the same time. Though, because we also have more than 0% attack speed, we gain the benefit of attack speed on all of our weapons as well. Some pickup radius would be pretty nice as well. We're very reliant on consumable healing. All right, that cursed walrus definitely did a number on us, and I still need to be careful. This is wave 10, where that big gang of walruses appears. Incendiary turret, I don't think we care about. I'm just going to take the 18 materials here, and then we'll buy Shady Potion. We have an elite this wave, so do I want to not buy Bean Teacher in order to roll for defensive stats? Of course, we have 165% XP gain already, and finding more weapons, more defensive stats, those would both be very helpful, especially because there is, of course, a chance I could roll 2 elites this wave. I think I'm going to pass on the Bean Teacher. Very, very rare that you'll see me do this, but because we're going into a pretty challenging wave, with the potential for 2 elites, I just want to make sure that we can kill them faster. Even though we have really high base damage on our weapons, Mastery is such an efficient item, I'm going to buy it anyways. We'll take a Dangerous Bunny here as well. Do I want Charcoal? I think it's also worth picking up, again, just because we're going straight into an elite wave. We'll buy another stick. Whistle, I will lock. Ghost Outfit, I have negative armor. My speed would still be positive. I think we can actually get away with buying Ghost Outfit here. Do I want Gambling Token this wave? I don't want it this wave, but once I buy Ghost Outfit, that'll be enough dodge that it's relatively efficient, and then I'm re-rolling there because the baby is guaranteed to see at least one weapon in every shop, and I really wanted to buy a 15th stick, if possible, and we did actually manage to roll into one. So I just need to kill this elite as quickly as possible, because our defensive stats are bad. And it's hard to fight that one without taking hits. But that's why we bought the extra damage stats, why we passed on the Bean Teacher, and why we rolled for extra weapons. Candy Bag just giving us a few points in defensive stats is so valuable for this character. Now I'm desperately going to need to fix my armor, because we're about to reduce it by 4 in the next shop, going down to 0 armor in exchange for some dodge. So obviously we're going to need to roll very heavily for armor items. I will take the Diploma. We don't have a use for the engineering, but the XP gain's still good. We'll keep taking attack speed here. We'll buy our weapon slot. And then, oh, I'm going down to -1 armor if I buy both of these. I think that's still okay, but now I will absolutely have to find an armor item. We'll buy a stick here. I'm not going to buy Scared Sausage. It's not remotely what we're doing with this run. We're killing things with our sticks. I could upgrade a level 1 stick here, but then I can't re-roll. I could also just lock a level 1 stick. I think it's worth locking it, because I just want to fill out our full weapon set, and then I'm going to roll here once. Because I'm still just looking for more armor. Also, I've bought enough XP gain that we are going to reach the point where we just get normal stats from our levels again. And that's a pretty important point for the baby, because you get your level 24 stats and then your level 25 stats. And at level 25, you get a guaranteed red upgrade. So that can help you fix something like our really, really low armor. Assuming that we make it to that point by rolling for a +4 armor upgrade. But negative armor is super, super dangerous. Hard to overstate how bad it is to have negative armor in this game. And maybe it's even just not correct to have bought all that dodge. I did put myself in a position where I'm relying a little bit on good RNG from the candy bag to give me more armor and dodge to help justify this choice. I'm going to keep buying dodge, though. Once we've started building it, we're incentivized to keep building it. Take a stick, going up to 17. We'll definitely take more attack speed. I'll buy a bag here, and then I will roll. Saltwater gives me a little bit of melee damage and attack speed. I think I'm just going to reroll here. I think I need defensive stats more, so I'll take the lifesteal, and then I'm going to roll. I'll buy a cute monkey. Again, great healing, and then we'll roll again here. We will definitely not buy the sunglasses, and I'm going to roll here. I'm looking for a stick, and I'm looking for anything that gives armor. We still haven't found anything that gives armor, but we can at least keep buying sticks. And Silver Bullet will help a lot, given that we have Candy Bag, and maybe we're going to roll extra elites. Yeah, walking into that attack, you can see how bad it is to have negative armor here. We also have not gotten very lucky with the Candy Bag. I think it's given me 1 point of armor so far, over 5 waves or so. Which you don't want to rely on it, but it is, you know, usually going to give you some. We did get a dodge there, so dodge doing its job. But yeah, I do think that buying the ghost outfit probably just made this run a little bit harder, so now I'm working around that, and I didn't need to be in that position. I'm going to recycle the celery tea here, we'll buy a couple weapon slots, and we'll, of course, take the silver bullet and the stick. We'll roll past all of these, take a stick here. I guess I'll pass on a bean teacher again, and I'm going to roll. I'll take a penguin, roll again, lock another stick. Yeah, because at this point, I don't really care about my individual weapon levels. We just want to max out the sheer number of sticks that we have in order to give each of them the most damage possible, because leveling the stick obviously increases the damage of one of our weapons a little bit, but buying another one increases the damage of all of our weapons by a fair margin. I'm going to roll one more time here, and we'll pick up a gentle alien, and then go to the next wave. Again, no armor there. I'm just looking for, you know, an armor icon to appear. Fortunately, our damage is very good, so I can kill that one before it gets the second wave of attacks off, and potentially puts me in danger. Now, I do think it's important, the way that we've played this, you know, there's one glaring hole in our build, and we need to fix that. And that, obviously, is our negative armor. It's important not to panic and stop buying other good items. You need to make sure that you're still progressing your build, even if there's something that you're missing. I think it's easy to overcorrect when you go, okay, I am in trouble because I have one stat that I need to fill out. And start just hard rolling for that stat. And I think people generally re-roll too frequently in this game, which often rewards just getting total numbers of stats, just sheer amount of total stats, rather than one specific stat. We'll take the sad tomato, we'll roll here, we'll buy loot worm and cyclops worm, and then we'll go to wave 15. Hey, we got our first point of armor. I was a little worried about an elite spawning on the darkness wave. Also, I think torture... I passed on the torture, I didn't talk about it at the time. Torture is, I think, a pretty bad trap on Nightmare mode. When you take damage, it's usually going to be so much damage that the 5 healing per second will be nowhere near sufficient. And so it's better to avoid buying an item that hard caps your healing if you plan to heal at all. Which this build does. So even though it might be, you know, more total healing per second than we're going to be getting on average most of the time here. And you can see that. But you can also see we healed up to full basically instantly because I picked up a bunch of consumable healing. It would have been impossible if we'd had the torture. And that difference is going to be even more marked the more we level up. I think a lot of times people look at like our regen and think, okay, well, we've got 1 healing per second from regen, and then maybe 2 per second from our lifesteal. 5 per second is more than that, so torture is better. Wrong way to think about it, because when you need to heal back to full quickly, and you're using usually consumable healing and running into big groups of enemies to do that. Slow, steady healing is much less valuable, at least when it turns off your other healing. A reroll here, and yeah, we'll definitely take the weird food. Luck is a good healing stat for us, but I think I'm going to roll past the bowler hat. I will take a lost duck, though. I'll roll. We have 11 curse. We can get away with a fish hook here, and we'll roll again. Definitely going to take a broken mouth. My HP was relatively low. I'll lock mastery. Efficient enough that it's worth buying here. Basically, buying a mastery is like buying 1.5 sticks. So we're spending a little bit more than we would by buying a weapon for the same amount of damage, but we just want more total damage overall, of course. I have 7 elemental damage, so we get 1.5 from the Frozen Heart. I don't think that's worth locking, but I will lock this Cursed Stick. A Cursed Bottom Mine is somewhat interesting, but I think, again, here is a good spot to save our money, because, again, I just need to fix my armor. Though Candy Bag gave us 1 more point of armor there, so I think we're back up to 0. But the Curse Bottom Mine, it's fun, of course, and buying Curse is always good. Just inherently. But it does not solve a problem that we have. We don't need more clear speed. As you can see, we're one-shotting everything as soon as it spawns. We need more defensive stats. So buying kind of off-plan items, no matter how decent they seem inherently, is something to be avoided when you need a specific item. And this is the difference between panicking and hard rolling for armor and looking for armor intentionally, which is what we're trying to do. The goal when you have a specific stat that you need is to change your purchasing behavior exactly enough to help you find that, not so much that you ruin your character. We'll keep taking scars here. We'll buy another weapon slot, and we'll pick up... Okay, nice. We did get a Cursed Mastery. That's great. We'll take the Lucky Charm. We'll roll here. I'm still looking for more sticks. This Cursed Duct Tape basically fixes all the problems that we were having. Now we're at 3 armor. Still not great, but suddenly we're much less in danger of just getting one-tapped out of the game. I'll lock Plant as well. Do I want padding? I guess I would buy it if it got cursed, so it's worth locking with the Fishhook. Okay, we got an elite. I actually can't remember if this was an elite wave or if that was a Candy Bag spawn. I was not paying enough attention there. We'll check, of course, once the wave is over. Took a hit there, and again, you can see how much better it is to be able to heal back up to full immediately than if we had the Torture. This way, we're not in danger of dying during any, basically at any point, whereas there would be a point where we were kind of ramping back up if we had Torture. I'm going to recycle the Greek Fire here and recycle the statue. We'll buy a weapon. Greek Fire, by the way, I think one of might be the single most overrated item in the game. Even when it actually goes off, people buy it all the time when they have no way to set things on fire. And even when it actually goes off, it's not that much damage, and we don't need more damage to elites. We have Silver Bullet, we have really high damage weapons, so Greek Fire just doesn't fit our plan, and also just isn't that good an item in the first place. I do want to hit level 24. Is it worth spending 163 on a Bean Teacher? We keep getting offered this right before Elite Waves, which is funny. I think it is at this point. And then we'll take the Metal Plate, and we'll buy another stick, which is perfect. I could lock Baby Elephant for the Fish Hook. I guess I will. I think I would buy it if it got cursed. Alright, looks like we got 2 elites, and 2 of the same elite is usually the worst case scenario, because 2 different elites. I had to just commit to killing it there and getting the full heal before the other one got close, and same with when I kind of took an extra hit there. Another case where we'd have died if we had the Torture, by the way. 2 of the same elite are the worst case scenario because their attack patterns will often overlay directly opposite one another, removing any of the like layer. Most elites are designed with a place that you can stand that's safe, and if they happen to stand slightly offset from one another, their attack patterns will perfectly cover each other's safe points, and so you will have nowhere that you can stand where you're not getting hit. So it's usually worse to roll 2 of the same elite than to roll 2 different elites. Anvil at this point, I mean, it's basically giving me 1 weapon upgrade. I guess 2 weapon upgrades. Is that worth 70? I suppose it is. We'll recycle that, of course. You can't be the king of Brotato without a crown, so we're going to take that, and then we'll pick up another weapon slot. Got our stick. Did not get a cursed item here, so we'll re-roll. And I can level one of my sticks here. We can go up to 44 dodge, and we can buy all of these things. I'm going to buy a corrupted shard. Do I want an injection? I guess so. Our percent damage is pretty low, and I still need to kill elites faster. And then I am going to lock the lure. This will just give me a little, even though we won't get any items out of it, this will give me a little bit of extra healing in wave 20. And the 2 regen is worth spending 90 on by itself. And then the extra loot aliens are going to be extra consumable spawns, which can heal us as well. I should clarify what I'm talking about with Greek Fire as well. If you're already a burning build, it's solid. It does decent additional damage, and it's a way for burning builds, which normally struggle to kill elite, to do that. If you're not a burning build, just buy damage. You don't need to make yourself have a whole bunch of other stuff going on. All right, so there you can see having really low armor again, putting me in danger because I walked into a couple of attacks, but we were able to heal up. Bad movement this wave. I almost threw the run as a result of poor movement there. I'll take the riposte, and here I will take 4 melee damage. I think just trying to end the fight a little faster is better here. I didn't actually go over level 24. That's wild. I was really expecting to hit to get more stats there. I'm going to combine and buy this stick because I want multiple cursed weapons. We'll buy a lure, we'll buy a warrior helmet. That way, hopefully, I don't get one shot by the bosses. We'll level our cursed weapon. I don't care about the lampreys, so I will take the bait here, and then I'll pick up a small magazine, because attack speed, when applied across this many weapons, is good. And then we'll go to wave 20, hoping that we don't get an elite spawn, because I'm not really ready to fight an elite. Kill the lampreys first, while I'm waiting to heal up. That dodge was nice as well. And then I'm going to run over here, and we'll kill this boss. Not pick up the red crate, because when I walk into a bunch of attacks like that, I'm going to need the full heal. And then we're going to back off, because I took a few attacks, go pick up some consumables. and win the fight that way. All right, so a couple close calls due to the occasional poor movement from me. And while our 45 dodge did save me on a couple occasions, it probably would have been better just as +4 armor or +5 armor without the gambling token and ghost outfit. So definitely maybe not the best decision to go hard into dodge there, and it made the mid-game harder. But overall, I think this run went very well. We ended up hitting just level 25, which is kind of funny because we didn't actually get our stats. If I'd hit level 25 before the boss wave and gotten +4 armor, it would have been great, but we didn't quite get there. We did 23k damage with the rats. I could potentially have just skipped on these as well. The early candy bag obviously was great, especially because it gave me a potato when we killed the elite, which was a really nice find. Bag for 225, not bad. Double silver bullet was very helpful, of course, as well. Loot worm gave us 49 materials, but it was mostly there for material pickup, and it did do some help with that. We got 1 cursed mastery off of the fishhook, so fishhook actually pretty disappointing here. It might have cursed a stick as well, I think it did. Cursed 1 weapon and 1 item, but not the best fishhook, obviously, and the duct tape we rolled into, I believe. The late coupon also wasn't amazing. I think it made its money back, but barely. And of course, part of why the end game was a little harder than it needed to be was I bought the crown for the meme, and nightmare mode is hard enough that when you buy items for the meme, it does make the game harder because it's a very difficult mode and you need more optimal purchasing to win it comfortably. But hopefully that gives you a good idea of how to win with the baby, despite a few mistakes that I made. Oh yeah, also 120 healing from cute monkeys. And if you've been struggling with this character, buy a lot of sticks, buy as much armor and regeneration as you can, and just let sticks kill everything, because the amount of damage that they do, of course, is ridiculous. Alright, my friends, hope that you've enjoyed that run, and of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.